Welcome back. It is Saturday, April 1st in the MLB. Our four favorite picks are on the way. We got three game picks, one no-one first inning. I'm Austin, joined by Logan. Let's recap yesterday, Logan. It was a 1-2 day. Not ideal. Now, we did get to fly the flags. It was an electric live stream. We had over 1,500 people celebrating in there. Unfortunately, two of our game picks didn't get done. Mariners, yeah, they didn't show up. Robbie Ray, Teoscar Hernandez. Yeah, you can vent on that in a second, but my pick, the Dodgers, couldn't show up either. Either way, both those two teams lost outright, but we're going to bounce back. We're going to have a great day today. And Logan, we're just going to hop right into the favorite picks. What's your first one of the day?
Yeah, I'm going to an earlier game. I don't want to talk about the Mariners last night. Robbie Ray, oof, not a good showing for our boy Robbie Ray. But I'm going to the Blue Jays versus Cardinals game, and I'm taking the under 7.5 total runs in this one. Currently, your best value plus 100 on FanDuel. Now, for sure, by the time you're watching this line will be 8 on most books. It may be even 8.5. I hope it's not. I hope I didn't miss by that much. But the public heavy on the over, right? They threw out an absolute bait line coming off a 19-run game. I'm confident the bats cool down. The fact that this line is just 7.5, I was expecting to see it at 8.5 at least, given how ballistic these two offenses were. And it's not like the Cardinals are trotting out an ace, right? Flaherty is not an ace. 3.48 ERA, a 1.43 whip in 5 home games in 2022. Decent ERA. The whip is a little bit dangerously high. So that's what I'm saying. Like the over-under, kind of indicating that we're going to see a decent showing from Flaherty. Also, what I do like from him, 0 home runs allowed in 5 home games, right? We know Busch Stadium is a pitcher-friendly ballpark. If you can keep the ball in the ballpark, that obviously benefits our under, and I think he's able to do that today. Look at the Blue Jays hitters last game, right? These are some crazy numbers, right? Springer, 5 for 6. Bichette, 4 for 6. Chapman, 3 for 5 last game. Now, guys, I hate to break it to you, but I don't think they're going to hit that on the season. Now, if they do, well, I'll eat my humble pie. But those averages are due some regression, right? They were clearly seeing Miles Michaelis very well. I mean, we had the Nerfy in that one. It looks stupid. But I think we're going to see some under regression in this one. And I think those hitters that were finding the spots in that stadium don't get as lucky today against Flaherty. And on the other side, we've got a pitcher I can certainly trust. We've got Kevin Gausman. He's had mixed performances versus St. Louis. 6 innings pitched, 0 earned runs at St. Louis, and 4 2/3 innings pitched, 5 earned runs at home. He was one of those weird pitchers where he was great on the road last year. 2.3 ERA and a 1.09 whip. So that benefits us today, right? He's pitching on the road. He should be comfortable. In this pitch clock era, I want pitchers that are able to just sit up there and look surgical, right? Robbie Ray, not that guy last night. He's just a weirdo, grunting weirdo. Gausman is one of those locked-in pitchers. I think he'll be up on the mound, just absolutely fanning batters, and that's what we need. Last point of note: both bullpens were rock last game. A really good bullpen pitcher in Helsley came up there and sold the game. I expect better performances from all the bullpens, on each side of this game, and I expect them to be able to keep that total under 7.5. Or if you want to play it at 8 because your book inevitably will have it at 8, you can do that. Hopefully we don't get the push potential, or hopefully you don't get the push potential at 8. We could keep under that 7.5. Austin, what do you got for us today?
Yeah, Logan, I like that pick. I mean, at the end of the day, you could take the 8. I think a book, some will be at 7.5, 8. I don't see it going to 8.5 personally. They normally don't move up lines that big. That's an early start at 215. Now, for my pick, I'm going to go to the Giants and Yankees game, and I'm actually going to take a team total. Now, I'm going to take the Giants team total over 3.5 runs. Now, some books will have this listed as the away team, as that is what the Giants are today. But either way, we just want the Giants team total over 3.5 runs. They give us 4 runs. We will certainly take that. Now, I do want to do more player props. I do want to put that at the note, but really, we're so early into the season. We have no idea with K props. Base props are a very, very tough bet. So we're just going to stick with a couple game picks and hopefully get off to a good start here. But let's talk about opening day, as the Giants and Yankees both had off yesterday. Opening day, the Giants manufactured, look, this should have been a hits line, not a runs line. They had 4 hits. They had 0 runs, 16 strikeouts in 9 innings. Garrett Cole was making them look silly out there. But today I expect their offense to heat up a little bit because, look, you look realistically at the line, you're looking at an over-under at 8.5 or so, 8 or 8.5. You're looking at the Giants barely underdogs today, only like plus 120 on the money line. Everyone's on the Yankees. Everyone's on the under in this game. I think the Giants offense wakes up as they're going to go against Clark Schmidt of the Yankees. Now, Clark Schmidt made a couple starts last year. Wasn't really supposed to come into this year as a starter for the Yankees, but thanks to injuries to Rodon, Montes, and several other guys, Severino, he's basically been thrown into the lineup, and he has to start here on their second game. And in the spring training, he was a little bit up and down. He had a 5.03 ERA, gave up 11 earned runs, 19 2/3 innings pitched. So Didn't have a great spring training. In his last 2 starts in spring training, gave up 3 and 2 earned runs in less than 4 innings pitched. So he was obviously not doing great in spring training, and hopefully he carries that into this regular season. But we know the Yankee Stadium has hitter dimension. I mean, it's a hitter-friendly ballpark. Sometimes a fly ball can go out of the stadium, and while that necessarily the weather's not going to help our case today, I think the Giants have capable enough hitters. We look at Schmidt; he did improve last year for the Yankees. But the great thing about a team total is there's several different ways we can hit here. Now, the Giants could come out here, play well, get 4 runs, get a win, or potentially, lose by a run or 2. Number 2, the Yankees could absolutely smoke them. It could be 20-0, and they're like, you know what, we'll just throw out a regular pitcher. We'll throw out a catcher. Or, they won't put out their best bullpen arms, and you can get a hit there. Or number 3, we could go to extra innings and potentially get some cheese there. So there's definitely some opportunities for hitting a team total over. But we look at a guy like Schmidt. He doesn't rely heavily on a fastball. Goes more towards a sweeper and a sinker pitch. And if you miss and you're off on those pitches, pretty easy to put those off-speed pitches into the bleachers. And we look at the Yankees, they have a good bullpen. They were 3rd best in bullpen ERA last season, but they're not unhittable. I think the Giants, who were absolutely terrible on opening day, come out here, try to manufacture some runs, maybe steal some bases. They have capable enough hitters to score 4 runs. It's not like we're asking them to score 6 today. All we need is 4 runs. There's many different ways you can do that. You can do that early and often. You can do that late in the game. There's going to be a ton of opportunities, I think, today. I think they get some more hits than just 4. Like Logan was talking about, all these Blue Jays hitters were absolutely crushing the baseball. There's always some regression coming some way, and I think the Giants have some positive regression, whereas maybe the Blue Jays and Cardinals have some negative regression coming their way. I like the Giants taking their team total over 3.5 runs. I think they got a chance to win this one outright. I just don't see them winning it outright without at least scoring 4 runs against the Yankees. So give me the Giants as my favorite pick. But Logan, word on the street, you got 2 picks for the people. What's your second one?
I do. I couldn't decide which one I liked more, so I got to play 2 on this weekend baseball slate. I'm going to the Mets versus Marlins game, and I'm taking the Mets money line. Currently minus 122 odds on FanDuel. Now, if you're looking at these Mets coming off a 2-1 loss versus Miami, that doesn't look all that great in the box score. Marlins are a heavy public underdog today, so I got to take the Mets in this one. Now, the Mets 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position yesterday. This Mets offense is just too good, right? They're going to have more runners in scoring opportunity today against Cabrera. Now, the question is, can they convert those to runs? I believe so. Cabrera, 4.58 ERA and a 1.19 whip in 7 home games last year. So that ERA, I mean, it's hovering in that 4.5 region. That's definitely indicative of some run opportunities. And also, Cabrera, 8 home runs allowed in 7 home games. And a 3.82 walks per 9 ratio. He's a bit of an erratic pitcher that can miss his spots. Now, I know being a strikeout specialist, he's able to get those put away pitches. But if he's missing locations, these Mets hitters are definitely able to put them in the seats and to manufacture runs that way. Now pitching for the Mets today, we've got Tyler McGill, 5.84 ERA and a 1.3 whip in 9 road games last year. He kind of had an interesting spot. If you look at his game log versus Miami, he only pitched 1 inning versus Miami. So they used him in sort of out of the pen performances or short starts. But I think he'll be able to, be decent today. Given the pitchers' K-prop lines, both these pitchers have that 4.5 line juiced to the over for McGill. And I expect him to actually outlast Cabrera in this one. I expect him to be able to, hold the Marlins offense down enough. And I think the Mets offense will show up enough in a big way to overpower Miami, regardless of if Miguel, makes some mistakes and everything. I think this Mets offense shows up in a big way today. I'm taking them on the money line. But Austin, you know what time it is. Let's get that music playing.
The music going. And we're waving the flags. Nerfy Nation time is ready to go. We got to wave these flags with all of you in the chat yesterday. Now we won't do a live stream today likely. We'll probably return those on Monday. Should have my new computer. Hopefully we're not lagging like crazy. But today we got a good one. Hopefully we can hit 2 straight. And let's dive into this one. 2 teams that were off yesterday. We're going to the Tigers and Rays, and we're taking the no-run first inning. Now, I do want to make note of this. So some people did point it out. Make sure when you're looking at the no-run first inning, you're taking an under 0.5 runs, but also check out the tie. If the tie is reasonable, close, take the tie instead. Now, we looked at this one, and the Nerfy was much better odds than the tie. The tie was sitting at like minus 135, minus 140. We'd rather just take this for a little bit less juice. But if they're really close to each other, I'd probably lean towards the tie because you could get a 1-1 game and still cash with the tie instead of the no-run first inning. But either way, let's dive into this one and why we like it. Now, starting for the Rays will be my man, Zach Eflin. He's returning home, sort of, because he's born in Orlando. Logan and I would know that because We went to his high school. And look, he came from Philly all the way down to the Rays. This is his first year with Tampa. And last year he was decent. 4.04 ERA. He was all right with the Phillies. They kind of tried to put him into the bullpen. He was not a bullpen guy. He needs to be out there to start the game. And I think the Rays are going to notice that. And we look at the Tigers. Look, 27th in first inning runs in 2022. Not a very good offense. They really didn't do a whole lot to improve that offense. So I'm going to be fading the Tigers. You'll probably see the Tigers nerfies a lot this season just because we don't really trust their offense to score a whole lot. So I think Mr. Eflin, he's returning back home a couple hours. I'm sure he has a lot of family in the stands. I think he can get us the first 3 outs. Who's on the mound on the Tigers side, Logan?
Yeah, for Detroit, we've got Spencer Turnbull. And now if you look at his stats last year, 2.88 ERA, 0.98 whip in 9 starts. So limited sample size, but I do like what I saw from Turnbull. Tampa Bay, 9th in first inning runs in 2022. Bit of an annoying offense, I won't lie to you there. If they get base runners, there will be steal opportunities. This will not be a no sweat nerfy, I promise you that, right? But if you look at both Eflin and Turnbull, the over-under for their strikeout line, 4.5, right? So they expect them to get some decent length out of both these starters, which means I don't see a first inning implosion happening, right? Over-under also set to 7.5, typical for a Tigers game, right? They are such a low-scoring team. Most of the time, people just wake up, bet the Tigers under. So we are taking an under in this game in just the first inning, but I expect it to work out. I mean, I need to see what Spencer Turnbull can do this year. If he comes out and implodes in the first inning, then we'll know not to touch him anymore. But we'll take a chance on this one because I think the Tigers should definitely give us the first 3 outs we need in the first half the inning. Can we close it and wave the flags today? Austin, I think so.
I absolutely think we can. So that is our nerfy of the day. We'll start giving you guys some more leans, but honestly, betting these no run first innings are very difficult. Only 2-3 games. Well, not even a lot of these games are just in their second game of the year. So we're still trying to learn a lot about all the teams in the MLB. Learn who's good, learn who's bad, learn who's just not having a good year. So it's kind of just flipping a coin and just hoping for the best. But hopefully we get 6 quick outs. It's minus 122 on FanDuel. We will take that. Those are our 4 favorite picks of the day. We appreciate you guys for coming out here and watching with us. Have a great Saturday. We'll see you guys back again on Sunday morning. Same time, same place. We'll see you guys then. Peace out.